Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Why I Hate This Movie. I'm your host, Derek Rios, and with always my co-host and heterosexual life mate, Danny Newton. How you doing today, Danny?
Pretty good, Derek. How are you?
I am fine. So today, we're bringing it back to back. For some reason, you didn't have enough punishment last week, and you're like, let's do Hocus Pocus 2. Because there's no way it's as bad as the first one.
Yeah, I thought myself all day, there's no way this movie can be as bad as what we already experienced.
Well,
and I feel like I was right about that. This was not as bad as the first one, but this still was not good.
I feel like it was equally as terrible.
I don't know. I don't know if it's equally as terrible. But, I mean, it's neck and neck. It's up there.
More so.
Well, the worst part of this movie was all the original actors.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's probably just the whole movie is the worst part.
That too.
Of course, we got the returning three witches.
Right.
I have no idea if that was...
If that was actually Billy?
Yeah, I have no idea if that was the original actor.
I mean, it might have been. It kind of sounded like him.
It looks like him.
I feel like it was incorporated with some CGI.
I don't know. I don't think so.
You don't think so at all?
I mean, besides like, the head removing stuff, I don't think there was that much CGI.
Yeah. But he sounded a lot like him.
The CGI did look better. The magic looked cleaner.
Yeah. Because, we're 30 years removed.
Yep. It has been 30 years.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see Danny DeVito still working, And,
yeah. Gotten over that stroke quite nicely.
Yeah, he's doing good.
Yeah.
I think he's coming back in Always Sunny, right?
Yeah. It's not uncommon for a horse to live this long, but she's out to pasture right now. Okay.
I've heard of horses living for a pretty long time.
They'll live about 35, 40 years.
Yeah.
But she needs to start eating some kids or something, whatever it is going to take to make her young again, because she doesn't have much longer.
Do you think Sarah Jessica Parker actually eats fetuses and that's why she's still acting?
What?
What?
I'm gonna what?
Children.
Oh, is she a Democrat?
Yeah, she's a Democrat.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, I just figured. I haven't watched any of the Sex and the City stuff, but
No, I haven't either. It's really not, my jam.
At some point, people would just stop trying to have sex with these grannies at the same.
I don't know, man. There is an OnlyFans for everyone.
I guess so. So we start off again in the past.
Yes.
It's Salem 1653, which is a little bit before the main crew, Winnie and
yes,
the dumb sisters. I don't know what their names are. It's in 30 years. I didn't care to learn it.
So, yeah, they do a flashback to when Winnie and her sisters were kids.
Yes. She's still a bitch.
Yes, and still another opening scene that took way too long.
Well, we got to kill that hour 45-minute runtime.
Oh, Jesus.
And it can't all be credits. She's all pissed off. Winnie is. Because apparently the church... What was it? The city?
Well, this guy is like the pastor
of the
right?
town. Yep.
And
she's become of age, which I thought they were like 13 or something. They looked pretty young, but apparently she's 16 in this.
Well, she's the oldest.
Yeah, she's the oldest. The other two are obviously a little bit younger. He pretty much says, an arranged marriage, where it's like, you have to get married now.
I got to thinking about that, by the way.
I don't know if they don't have parents. Maybe they were orphans or something, but I don't understand how they could force an arranged marriage.
I really got to thinking about this. Yeah. I put real thought into this, okay? Arranged marriages were probably pretty important.
They were. It wasn't
just land, right? You got to keep marriages arranging back and forth between different families so we don't have an entire incestuous town.
Yep.
You got to diversify your bloodlines for a healthy population. So arranged marriages in a community this tight-knit were probably actually pretty important.
Well, I would agree with that, besides for the fact that they're obviously
inbred.
They chose to force her to marry the only other redhead in the town?
It's because neither one of them have souls.
Okay. So they're like, the soulless ones have to go over there.
Right.
They probably just burn redheads at the stake back then.
Maybe, probably.
But yeah, it was like, oh yeah, this is probably your brother or something. We don't know, but you're going to have to marry him.
Yeah. And she's really upset at this.
Because she kissed Billy.
Yeah.
And that's her true love because they kissed in the graveyard one time.
Yeah.
That old horn dog, Billy.
Something like that.
You never kissed the wrong girl in a graveyard because that could come back to haunt you. 300 years later, you get resurrected as a zombie and people are still talking shit about it.
I love how Billy was just like, oh, thank God. I'm finally actually dead.
Yeah. Because from the last movie to this one, 30 years, he's just been asleep, buried, undead. So technically alive, right? He's still conscious, right?
Yeah.
He's still a zombie.
Yeah.
He's just down there.
Yeah.
Sounds miserable. Could you imagine 30 years of your own thoughts?
Yeah. Yeah, I can. It's horrifying.
Yeah. Because it's not like he's going to die.
No. Just go more and more insane. I wonder why we didn't get any of the kids back.
I have no idea.
As adults.
I mean, some of them are actors I know of, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, do you think they would have really tied that together?
That Disney money could afford Bette Midler, but it couldn't afford just like these random scrubs?
Yeah.
It's odd. It would have been a better throwback if they would have been parents.
Yeah, you thought...
Of these kids.
Yeah, you would think so.
It would have been a good prophecy because it would have rhymed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense because they have some ties with it, and also, you know, they had interactions with, they were children with these witches, so their kids could have the power of, like, you know, leached into them somehow.
Yeah.
Through, like, curses or something. Who knows?
That would have been good storytelling. But that's not what we got here.
Maybe that kid died a virgin because he got made fun of the first movie so much.
Oh, my God. Dude, that hands down is the one thing that this movie did right.
None of those girls are virgins?
It wasn't trying to slut shame toddlers.
Hey, she was 16, okay?
They made the virgin thing a offhand joke, and it was fine. It was clean, done.
The little girls were like, ew, you had sex to an adult. And he was like, what? You know, I'm an adult.
No. That's not what they were ewing.
What? What were they ewing then?
The fact that he would know that they were still virgins. I thought that's what they were ewing.
No, I just thought ewing at the fact that the thought of him
that
having
he
sex.
used them because they were virgins.
Oh. Well.
Yeah.
They were like the nerdy girls, right? The three girls that go out.
It was a safe bet.
It was a safe bet that if any of those kids in the school, that and the one kid dressed like Dracula, who would look like he was 30. It was a safe bet that the nerdy girls that go out in the woods and have covens are probably virgins.
Well, I mean, of the three friends, only really one of them was the safe bet that they would still be a virgin.
Well, not the cool one now that has a hot football playing boyfriend who's abandoned them.
Yeah.
And that was the whole moral of the story is, you know, love your friendship and your family that's close around you. Because if you want ultimate power, you're probably going to have to lose them.
Power resides in the people around you.
Yeah.
Good message.
Yeah, it has a better message.
Surprisingly good message, yes. Not just fucking retarded virgin over here.
You know what? If I had ultimate power, I would happily trade your soul.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
I feel okay knowing that you feel that way.
Yeah, because would I want you back? I mean, yeah, sure, but I can go make new friends.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I have ultimate power.
Yeah, or force them to make new friends, and they're probably going to be a lot cooler and hotter than you. Hopefully, of the opposite sex.
Ooh.
Ultimate power.
Yeah.
That's attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, I don't know. The one thing I was really worried at the start of this movie, it kind of threw it out there. Yeah, I was really worried that was going to be a theme of the movie. Is this man is bad? You know, women rule. The whole.
Yeah,
I was really worried it was going to jump into that when like the mayor was like, "Oh, you ladies have to get married." Then there was like, "You can't talk back to a man that way," which That's kind of how it was back then. Women didn't have rights and they weren't allowed to talk back.
I am
Not
so
really.
glad they didn't go full tilt into that.
Yeah, because it would have been very obnoxious and I would have hated this a lot more.
Oh, yeah. But if it would have done that the entire time, everybody will have loved it.
Yeah.
They would be making a 3 right now.
So this movie really does solve the biggest question that I've had ever since the Hocus Pocus, rewatching these movies.
Yeah, what's that?
What defines a virgin?
What?
Yeah, what defines a virgin?
Wait, this movie solved that? Continue. I did not pick up this message.
Yeah, the shopkeep.
Oh my god.
He defines it for us. It's if you've lit a candle or not. So I am glad to say that I am not a virgin, okay?
I've lit many candles.
Yes. Congratulations, Danny. Welcome to the club.
I don't... I'm a candle lighting whore.
You really are. I light a candle like maybe once a month, but you probably get around and light a bunch of different candles.
Don't worry, they're not pumpkin spice.
Okay, that's good.
I like sugar cookie.
Oh, I'm more of like a French vanilla type of guy. I'm
You
old
would
school.
be fucking basic bitch over
Whoa, I keep it old school, okay? How I like lighting my candles. Real vanilla.
there. You're very vanilla about your candle lighting.
Yes.
Face to face, always.
Yeah. I like to use a nice long extension on my lighter. That way I don't get burned.
Only love my candles in the missionary position. Oh, no reverse cowgirl lighting candles for you.
No. I never doggy style when I light my candles.
That's good enough. This movie sucked. Bye, guys. Are you crying? Is it always that beautiful when you light your candle?
Yeah.
It brings you to tears.
I'm happy when I think about all the candles I lit. Oh, my eyes are burning a little.
It's for all the candle fumes in your face.
Oh, did you just light a candle in here, bro?
Oh, Jesus, dude. What the fuck were we talking about? Okay, good.
In the flashback,
Yeah.
the girls kind of get exiled from Salem and they run off into the woods and there's this creepy old witch out there.
Yeah.
And she's like sniffing them and shit. It's like, oh, you're obviously a powerful witch. Here's this book
Yeah.
that has the magical spells.
Do you think she already ate her friends?
Yes, that's what happened to her.
Yeah.
That's obviously, I really expected her to come back. They kept showing the raven, right?
Yeah.
When you first see her, you see the raven. It's like she's watching them,
Yeah.
but they never, obviously something got cut. There was something more to it, but the whole point was, I'm pretty sure she seeked ultimate power. And the reason she's telling them because she lost her coven, probably because of that way.
Yeah, it did show her as a raven form flying through a couple of different times and keeping watch
throughout the
things.
movie.
Yeah. And also at the very end of the movie, too.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm really surprised she didn't show back up.
Maybe they're just leaving it for the sequel.
I expected her, straight up, whenever they finally do the ultimate power spell
Yeah.
and Winnie's sisters disappear, I expected her to step out of the shadows then.
And be like, I told you.
And be like, I told you not to do this.
Yeah.
And now you see what's happened. I really expected that.
But it was very obvious throughout the whole movie what was going to happen.
Right.
When you read the text, the things you love most in life, it was the only thing that she has any love for or any care for at all is her sisters.
Yeah.
And magic. But
Yeah.
she's gaining that. So she has to sacrifice one thing, right?
Right.
It's the whole Thanos paradox, right?
Yeah, you must sacrifice what you love for power.
Yeah.
Threw Gamora right over that cliff and did not blink.
Well, what did you have to sacrifice?
Everything.
Thanos didn't do anything wrong.
No.
He's actually saved us.
He really did.
I mean, if you cut half the world population, like it'd probably bring the world, unite everyone, and there would be a lot more resources. Starvation would be gone. War would probably be gone.
Right.
There'd still be some skerfuffles, but then on top of that, the Earth monster wouldn't have burst out of it, right? Which I guess you never really.
Oh, we kind of forgot about that.
Yeah. Which that movie that doesn't really exist anymore.
What has it been, 3 years and we still haven't mentioned it yet?
Yeah, there's just a hand sitting out of the Pacific. But anyways, different franchise. It's all Disney.
It's all Disney.
Yeah, so they never really paid off the witch.
Right.
Then we, after that we kind of get the future, which is the new girls, which it's really about them and their friendship, right?
Right.
Because the two girls have lost their friend, it is kind of just a poor miscommunication, which happens as friendship, but
friendships fall apart.
What she caught the eye of the football quarterback star. It just feels like the old cliche. I just don't see that working anymore in our society.
Whenever she was having her scenes with her friends, I was expecting her to be more embarrassed about the moron she was with.
Yeah, because, he was the dumb jock. The typical dumb jock.
Dude, he was too stupid.
Well, he was also, oblivious. Because he was making fun of him, but I don't know. There was a difference of, harassment and...
I just stated facts about you. I didn't know I was making fun of you. I would never do that.
To be fair, it didn't seem like he was being very harsh.
No.
Compared to what we had to deal with in high school, just someone pointing out your differences and saying that's weird.
He liked the weird kid over there dressed as Frankenstein or whatever.
Yeah.
What was it? He's like, oh, that's so Eddie.
Yeah. He didn't.
Yeah, he wasn't making fun of them. He's 100% right. Yeah, fuck these bitches.
Yeah. He wasn't a bad guy. He was just like, oh man, you girls go out in the woods and cast spells and shit. That's weird.
It is weird.
It is. It's just, he's just stating facts. And if that's bullying, then I guess that's what's wrong with our society.
Yeah, I think so. It's okay to be weird, but it's not okay to be that weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you do something out of the norm and someone that's different. You can't be like, oh, he's fucking bullying me. That's violating my rights.
This is one step away from them sacrificing their friend to Slender Man.
Yeah. Pretty much.
He's right. They're weird.
Well, she was a witch and they were going out and casting spells and it's satanic.
It is.
What it comes down to. And God would not like that. And that's the moral of the story. And they're all going to burn in hell.
I hope so.
Damnation to their souls.
Oh, man. But, yeah. Love, joy, friendship, all that jazz.
So, the story happens because the shopkeep.
Yes.
Gilbert is the character that they retconned and put into the original Hocus Pocus.
Yes.
Because, Danny, would you like to say it?
Because no black people live in Salem.
Exactly. So they show him watching the original clips of the movie.
Yes.
And be like, oh, I was there, but I watched you die.
All they had to do was put him in the group of kids that got charmed.
Yeah. I'm sure he could have been wearing a mask.
But instead, he was just shambling down the road by himself like, oh, but he likes the only black kid in town.
This was the 90s in Salem, so...
This movie's racist.
Going way up there, eh?
Oh, Jesus, dude.
But he found the book, and the book teaches him how to make new black candles.
Black flame candles.
Black flame candles.
Yes.
So he just waits 30 years to get some virgins to light a flame.
Well, the thing is the book used him to make candles and then stopped talking to him.
Oh, yeah.
Ghosted him, man. The
Fuck
book ghosted him.
Wow. It's gotta suck to get ghosted by the Necronomicon.
No, not you.
Which
you're not good enough for Satan.
I feel like there was a script originally throughout all these movies where the book was just called the Necronomicon. And they retconned it so it wouldn't be so evil because they're trying to make witches seem good and fun and not just all evil. It's almost playful, and dumb.
So I think the biggest retcon of this whole movie was in the first movie, they said that Satan personally gave them their powers.
Yeah. But they never had powers. They just learned it from the book.
Right.
Everything they ever learned was from the book. If they didn't have a book, then they're nothing.
They replaced the concept of Satan as real.
Even though
with some random witch in the woods.
When they summon them out in the woods, they spring forth from the ground and it splits like hell's opening.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but they never mentioned Satan. They had one clip when the TV was on that showed that guy dressed up and like arguing with his wife.
Every part of this movie that was just a clip show from the other movie was the worst parts of this movie. It was so fucking bad.
Well, I mean, you got to time together.
Stop reminding me it existed. Okay?
That was the good part of Hocus Pocus. That's the one everyone loved, Danny.
Well, everyone's pretty fucking dumb, Derek.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree.
It's okay, buddy. It's all right. I'll say it.
I've been to Walmart.
It's okay. If you, I'm willing to judge.
Okay.
So they summoned them three back with. So these girls were tricked into getting a black flame candle to light by Gilbert, and they go out and do their little summoning circle in the woods because it's her birthday and she's fucking weird, and this is what fucking weird kids do.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
That's bullying, Danny.
Well, they deserve it. They deserve it. And they summon forth 3 demons from the bowels of hell and release the god of death back onto the world again.
Yay!
Yay!
But that's not the Necronomicon, and that's just the book we're going to refer to it as.
Right. And the first thing that they do once returning from hell itself, a musical number.
Oh, I was so scared that the rest of this movie was going to be a musical. But they kept it to like 3 songs. So
yeah.
It was bearable.
Right. In that sense, it was more like animated Disney, where it had just a couple of musical numbers in it overall.
I mean, they had to have something, right? Because that was the Put a Spell on You song was probably like the most memorable part of the original Hocus Pocus movie.
Right. I can see that.
So they had to come up with something that was equally. And what was the main one? They
oh no, they just fucking beat it to the ground though.
Was it?
The bitches are back.
Find you. No, that was that one. Or the witches are back, or whatever.
Yeah.
But the main one of this one, when they're up on the stage, it was I'm gonna find you, whatever.
Yeah. One way or another.
One way or another, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is isn't that Reba?
I don't think so.
One way or another, I'm gonna get you. Gonna get you one way. I don't know the fucking original song. I thought it was Dolly or Reba or some shit like that. Maybe
it's Blondie.
Blondie?
Yeah.
Oh. But I mean, Bette Midler is a singer, so it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And then the other two existed. They're good background singers, as my grandmother would say.
Yeah.
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 You think SJP has a good, a sexy voice?
SJP has not gotten any better in the last 30 years.
Somehow her neck has gotten thicker and longer.
It's called age.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I mean, Sex and the City was the late 90s, early 2000s?
Dude, they're still having Sex in the City.
I mean, the original.
Oh.
Right. And that supposedly was like the peak of her hotness, if you can call it that.
Sure. Whoreness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now she is way on the back end slide of that. She looked rough in this. And it wasn't just costuming and makeup. She looked actually kind of rough in this.
It looked like Bette Midler had quite a bit of work done too. And then Danny DeVito lost a bunch of weight.
Yeah.
Looked kind of rough.
Danny DeVito got in shape for this though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. So it still looked pretty rough.
Lost a lot of weight since the last season of Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I like the fact that the child actor had to have the sideways jaw look like Guinevere. Or not Guinevere, Yennefer.
Me, Yennefer, back when she was hot.
Yeah. Hot Yen.
Yeah, man. Saying that Hunchback does it for me.
So Danny DeVito does it for you too?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
So one of the things I really hated is they trick. So after they got summoned, they're like, all right, we're going to eat these girls that Fridas or whatever.
Yes.
They did have the bright idea. Like, we're just going to kill every fucking child we see.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, sounds a lot smarter.
100%.
This is a good idea.
You've learned in your exile.
But they trick him and say, oh, we're witches. We're 40 years old. And we have an apothecary back here at Walgreens. And take him in there and just take him to like the makeup section. And then they do the same thing again, where all the new technology, like sliding doors or
God,
light bulbs, just blow their minds. And a Roomba, which those Roombas, bro. The Roombas were sentient. Danny DeVito's character just flies around on two Roombas the whole movie, and they rescue them. Anytime, they're just following around like they're pets.
The Roomba joke was outdated for 2022.
Oh, so outdated.
Yeah.
They obviously wrote that probably 10 years ago when they rough draft this script.
Yeah.
And Roombas had just come out. Like, wouldn't it be great if they're flying around on a Roomba and a Swifter?
How long do you think they've been workshopping this?
Probably since the original.
Probably. You know, it kind of felt that way too. It felt like this was an original script from the early 90s for Hocus Pocus 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt like they took it out, knocked the dust off of it,
shoehorned in,
updated a couple of things, and yeah.
Just ran with it. They don't understand the concept of makeup, which they are just covered in makeup.
They would understand the concept of makeup. Makeup is not a new thing.
No, they had makeup back then. It was rare, and usually only royalty wore makeup, right? Because they always painted their face white because the paler you are, the, I don't know, sexier you are or some shit.
Right.
But it was around. They would have known what it was, even though I'm sure no one in this town would have been able to afford it. But the fact that they are covered in makeup.
Yeah.
You think someone would be like, oh, hey, this is the shit. This is just more of that.
Yeah.
But no. And I don't think eating makeup tastes like the way it smells.
Yeah, I doubt it. I highly doubt that. I've never eaten makeup before.
I mean, it's got to be edible, right?
I mean, somewhat.
Because they feed it to monkeys and stuff.
Well, who the fuck ever wrote this was definitely eating paint chips.
Yeah, I believe that. And also they shoehorned in the side story of the mayor and the original church pastor or whatever that was forcing them to get married. They had a grudge against them, and his family bloodline is now the mayor of the town. They just reused the same actor, of course. Right. And when they first introduced him, I was like, who is this fucking pedophile? Yes. It was so creepy. And but I didn't realize, oh, that's the one girl's father, the one friend of theirs that, you know, is now ran off with the jocks. Yeah. And you know, he's just this weird, awkward running for mayor elector. I don't know if he's an actual mayor.
Running for re-election.
Yeah, running for re-election, right? And
he has the job that nobody else wants.
Effectively. Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure anyone else could have just won if they ran. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, I thought he was I didn't realize that was that other girl's father. Yeah. I thought he was just creeping on the girls.
Oh yeah. I did too, until later in the movie they're like, oh, my dad, when they called her dad, it was like, hey, your daughter's partying over there. Yeah. And it's like, oh, that makes more sense now. Yeah. He's not just some creepy weirdo mayor. Yeah. That's just like interacting with these two girls. They don't really explain that.
Yeah, not at all. The way it come off, it was like, oh, hey, where's your really cute friend at? I don't see her around here.
Where's she at, huh? Oh, she's so funny. Oh, she took 10 flashlights out in the woods. Oh. She's going to need all those flashlights.
No, bro. She needs a gun.
Obviously. I'm like, oh, that's her dad. Whew.
Oh.
Whew.
Oh. Call CPS.
His whole thing was he just wanted this candy apple. He never got it, Danny.
He didn't even question The old whores in his garage.
Yeah, he pulls up, and they have the salt is the most powerful thing. I'm just always gonna carry a packet of salt on me from now on,
Bro, for
because it
real.
just wards off spells and defeats witches. You can just make a salt circle, and they can't do anything about it. They're
Screwed.
trapped forever. And yeah, he pulls up, and they're just stuck in his garage in a salt circle, and he's just like, whatever. I'm gonna go eat my shitty candy apple. It's probably got a cheese ball in it. Just fucking get rid of these whores.
Oh God, dude. So they immediately walk off.
Yeah. Well, the Roombas come up and save them because they like to
Fucking Roombas.
eat stuff.
Fucking Roombas.
Sentient AI demons.
So after, they figure out what's up, the witches go back to the shop again where they meet up with Gilbert. Essentially, they enslave Gilbert to their cause.
Mm-hmm. They put a curse on him.
Yeah, and
he's running around doing
he's
collecting all the stuff for the spell, for the ultimate, the powerful spell, right?
Yeah.
And he digs up Billy, and Billy helps him. He cons Billy into that.
He's botting for them.
Yeah.
Essentially, he's doing all the gather quests that they don't want to do.
And then Billy catches on to what he's doing, so he steals poor Billy's head.
Yeah.
He's a good zombie.
Yeah, he literally says, "I'm a good zombie."
I wouldn't trust a zombie if it told me it's a good zombie. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. No. First of all, why is that zombie talking? Second of all, it's trying to lure me in to bite me and eat me.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Yeah.
Duh.
He's real hungry.
Yeah?
Billy, again, in this movie too, does nothing useful, is a throwaway character, and pretty much almost ends our world.
Right.
Because if he hadn't have been her lover, there wouldn't have been another one, and it would have been in the movie.
Right.
She would have had to go find a new lover, which luckily they really shoehorned in Sarah Jessica Parker's just whorishness and wanting to fuck every person she comes across, and into just doing it once. So it's like, that was obviously better too.
Yes.
That she wasn't just awkwardly flirting with every child and man that she came across.
Didn't have her tongue down everybody's throat. That was better.
We get it. She was in Sex and the City. We get it. Okay.
Yeah.
She's a whore. Horse.
Nay, nay.
Nay, nay. Nay, yes.
Yeah. While Gilbert is on the fetch quest.
They capture the girls in Gilbert's, in the original house, whatever, right?
Right.
They throw them in their dungeon, which is just underneath the stairs, and they put a curse on them to lock them in there.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, they had, I don't know, some leaves or something that anti-warded courses. But so what did make sense was their phones worked, but whenever they tried to FaceTime and talk to them, they just saw nothing and couldn't hear anything. So they were like, oh, I guess the curse blocks phones too. But
and how'd the call go out?
But it doesn't block phone signals.
That fucking 5G, dude.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you, it's in the jab.
It is. Yep. That's probably how Billy's alive.
Yeah. Yeah, probably is. Oh, he's been double boosted.
Yeah. He shouldn't have got that last booster.
5G's just got him up like a fucking marionette.
Bette Midler and crew, the witches go to the fair because they're looking for the mayor. They enter a contest,
yes.
a cosplay contest to look like themselves.
Right.
Which this whole movie, you see, they're like famous, right? They're the three famous witches of Salem, and you see all these kids cosplaying as them and taking their picture with them and shit. And,
right.
At this, I did kind of like the contest scene, just for the fact that you had this guy dressed up like Danny DeVito's character. And she was just like, hey, you're looking hot. And then, but also in this contest, there's just a group of drag queens there.
Yes.
And they lose to like the town whores, it looks like.
Yeah.
They do their one number with "We're Gonna Get You."
Yeah. They didn't get them.
No. Well, they enchant the crowd to go after the mayor, and then when the crowd finally shows up the mayor, they find him and then just break their trance, and it's over. And they're like, "What the fuck are we doing here?" And walk off. And then there's no repercussions because it's not like the witches are there. They're not following them. It's just like, oh, well, that's over. And then the mayor ends up going to them anyways. And then they find out, oh, we can just steal the mayor's daughter. And then that way it, has the reason for them to combine and for friendship power and stuff,
Right.
And they capture him to go and save him. And they cast a spell.
Mm-hmm.
Bette Midler loses her sisters. And she's like, dang, I didn't see that coming.
Well, she didn't read the warning, okay?
You're right. She said she saw a warning. Fuck that. Next page. The warning is I'm unlimited power. And her sister starts getting lightning bolts too, because apparently they have no power at all whatsoever, besides the fact that they can fly.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense.
But I guess to be a true witch, you're just a dark Sith because you shoot lightning.
Yeah.
It's a Sith Lord.
Well, her Jedi lightning was different colors than the little girl's Jedi lightning.
So the little girl's a good Sith.
Yes.
A good side Sith, because hers was, I don't know, blue or some shit. Yeah. And the evil one's green.
Well, they were green and orange.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I thought JSP or SJP shot blue bolts or some shit, right? Or
Did she?
Purple, maybe? All three of them are different colors.
She finally stood up for herself.
She did, and then immediately back down.
Yep.
I actually thought Bette Midler was just going to turn on them because they were standing up for themselves, and that was like going to be the curse of the spell.
Yeah.
But no, she stood up for herself and was like, "Get back in line, bitch." And like, "Oh yeah, sure. Sorry, mommy."
Yeah.
And yep.
That would have been more interesting.
Yeah. If they turned on her, right?
Yeah.
And then she could see the, misdeeds of her ways,
If they just fucking killed her, yeah.
Well, defeated her.
Yeah. It would have been more interesting, but that's not what we got.
No, they disappeared, and she's just like, well, dang, I didn't want that. Take it back. And then you had this not really sad scene where they're just like, oh, I'm real sad. I just want
you're still a murderer, you know that, right?
Yeah. We're not supposed to have sympathy for you just because something bad happened to the bad person.
Right.
And then, the book cries for him, and then the girls undo her power and like, oh, no, this doesn't bring them back. It just sends you away. So you're dead now too.
I mean, lots of people probably had sad moments in their life. Jeffrey Dahmer, Adolf Hitler, Joseph Stalin, Kim Jong-il.
Santa.
I do not have any sympathy for these people.
No.
Especially that last one.
But okay, that's the end of it. There, she's the new witch. They got the book. Everyone lives happily ever after.
Right.
But of course, we get a couple post scenes for some movie that's never going to happen.
Apparently, there is a black flame candle too.
Number 2.
This time is personal.
Ooh. But who's the bad guy in this movie?
Gilbert.
You think Gilbert's the bad guy?
100% hands down. Gilbert's the bad guy in this movie.
But he's good.
No.
In the end, he doesn't. Well, he tries to be.
No.
And he's being forced to be bad, so he's not really bad.
That is not true. That is not true at all. Gilbert put this whole plan in motion. Gilbert made the candle. Gilbert conned these young girls, groomed them, right? Very pedophile-y. Groomed them.
I don't think I wouldn't go that far.
Knows their sexual habits, apparently.
Well, that was just like him guessing, right?
Yeah.
These are the girls that are obviously been coming there for a while and was into this witch stuff, and he probably edged them on and be like, oh yeah, hey, here's some some magic spells.
But he put the gun in their hand. It's worse than that, actually. He put the gun in their hand and told them it was just a toy. Go shoot at people. It's not real.
Well, because witchcraft is fake.
And they went out and shot at people and released the god of death. Gilbert is the bad guy.
I like Gilbert.
Of course you would.
What?
Of course you would. Go on.
I like Gilbert. He has a passion. Okay. It might not be the best thing, but he was like, hey, these girls, these witches, the three sisters were pinned as these tyrannical bad guys. And we don't, it could have all been mishap and because knowing our history now, all the Salem witch trials were just fake, right? And if you were to believe that, then
Here's the thing.
Okay.
When you've seen actual witches,
Yep.
then the Salem witch trials weren't fake anymore.
Okay.
Okay? Once we've established that you have physically seen witches, then the witch trials weren't fake.
All right.
They were real.
This kid was probably ostracized and picked on uncontrollably. Honestly, the movie didn't do this well. It should have made him angry because he was obviously just probably one of the few black people in this city back then, right?
Probably.
He grew up here, probably being picked on and stuff just because he's different. He'd think he'd be angry and he the whole time holding a grudge. And that would have made more sense if he was just holding a grudge the whole time and they'd turned around and be like, oh, I just want to see this city burn to the ground. And that's why he's summoning these witches.
Yeah.
This could have been a lot darker movie, but it's a Disney movie and it's family friendly, right? So
As long as we both agree that Gilbert's a piece of shit.
no, he's a good guy. He was a good guy that got picked on and just was forced into this corner of the only thing that's going to protect me if I bring back these three women who have power to give me a little bit of protection in my life and I could have a little power.
No, fuck that. Gilbert's a bad guy.
He didn't murder anybody.
He manipulated children.
Okay.
And he had been manipulating children for a while. This is very premeditated.
But they made him do it against his will, so, it's not-
No, they didn't.
Not that part. You also don't know the corrupting effect of the Necronomicon. It's not like it's a friendly book.
It didn't talk to him.
It did at first.
Yeah, he made a candle and then
Yeah.
it stopped talking to him completely.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
By his own words. I'm sorry. Gilbert's a bad guy. If you spent 10 years of your life manipulating a child, I would think very lowly of you.
Well, I mean, that's just what I do at Dungeons and Dragons all the time.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Like, no, he's hands down a bad guy.
Fair enough. I just liked his character overall. We wouldn't have had a movie without his character.
That's the point.
Yeah.
That's the point. We wouldn't have had a movie without his character.
Yeah.
You know why? Because he's a bad guy.
Oh. The witches are the bad people.
Really? Okay.
They're just misunderstood, right? Is
Sure.
that what you think?
What?
That's what he says. They were misunderstood.
The child-eating witches.
Yeah.
Misunderstood.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, man. They weren't just child-eating witches 300 years ago.
Yeah.
They were also child-eating witches when he was a kid.
Well,
He knows firsthand that they are child-eating witches.
they honestly never released any of that. They never show any of that. All they see is he sees them fly overhead and then explode. And no one never talks about it because they don't mention that happening really at all, besides the fact that he saw them fly overhead.
Okay.
They could have brought back some of the old cast.
Good people on both sides. Heard you.
Yeah. Hate meter?
I mean, this is just forgettable.
Yeah.
This the first one was actively offensive. It was like essentially slut shaming teenagers into being whores. That's bad. That's really bad. But this was just forgettable.
Now that we've talked about it more, I think you might be right. I don't think this is as bad as the first one.
I did not know this existed until we recorded the first one. I didn't know this existed.
Oh no, I knew it came out
This last year.
last year. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
all I heard was horrible things about it.
Anyways, I did not care for this, but it was just forgettable. 5.
Yeah, I'd go with like a 6.
Yeah.
I don't know. the musical parts killed it, but overall, like, it wasn't as painful.
No, it wasn't.
Maybe because I haven't seen it as much. Maybe that's why the first one brought back all those memories of having to watch that movie every year.
I think these kid actors were just better too.
You think so?
I do.
The reason I think I hated the most about this, the jump scares. They try to put in these like awkward jump scares, and every person in this movie just reacted to all the jump scares constantly in this movie, and they weren't really jump scares.
See, that's the thing. I thought those were comedy bits.
You think so?
So when you're watching a jump scare, it's supposed to feel different, but when you're watching somebody, a jump scare happening to somebody like that, I think that was more of a comedy bit.
I guess.
I didn't really feel like there was any jump scares.
I did chuckle in one scene.
Yeah.
When the old contest guy got pegged in the face with the
award.
With the award, yeah. That old guy dying, I laughed at.
Everybody just seemed to be quite okay with him dying.
Yeah, no one was upset. They went on with their concert.
Yeah. We didn't like that guy anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's all I got on this one.
I also hated the early scene where a spider gets loose and the entire town just flips out and freaks out and they're all running around panicking. But you know, all of those background actors are doing work.
Yeah, they really are.
That was so stupid where he's just like, there's the devil. There's 8 legs of Antichrist or hate or I don't know. It's so fucking stupid. People were not that ignorant. Well, I take that back, but yep. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you like, subscribe, and I don't know. Happy Halloween.
Yep. See you later, guys.
Bye.